Good morning, Doug here from the Hundredfold Journey. Thanks again for joining us on this Sundays with Doug, where the Hundredfold Journey is about coming alongside of you on your journey, on the spiritual journey that we are all on. And we're here to come alongside you to help rewire your brain, build new habits, and create a new identity, because you do have the power to choose what journey you're deciding to go down, because a hundredfold is about a group of people who are looking to find their true identity, and by doing so, finding God's true identity. So welcome to the study this morning. We are in a series called We Have the Mind of Christ, which is found in 1 Corinthians 2:16. So we're discovering what that means to have the mind, and what are those thoughts that we have, and basically living by intention and living from the mind of Christ. But before we do that, we always talk about these 10 truths, and we're working to memorize, to apply, and meditate upon the 10 truths. And as we've been doing each week, I'm asking that those that are online is to share maybe some experiences they had this last week where these 10 truths came into view. So with that said, who would like to share an experience from this last week? Anybody?
Yeah, I'll share one.
Okay.
So it was about golfing actually. Jeremy and I went golfing together for the first time, and we were hitting the balls out on the range, and I beat him in long distance, and I got all excited, and I was like, yeah, because Jeremy's a really good golfer, so I was like really excited to beat him. And then we went on short range and did short putt golf,
Yep.
and totally annihilated me, totally
I
beat me,
smoked him. I smoked
smoked
him.
me. But the thing about that is today right now is the best moment of my life, because it really shows that there's people out there that don't have even a chance to even hit a golf ball and know what that experience feels like. And the fact that I get to experience that with somebody that's a close friend,
Mhm.
and even when I experience it with my wife Rachel, it's just a good feeling of like, hey, maybe I've done this 4 or 5 times, but
Mhm.
it's still a new experience. And when I look at each moment in life like that, it's like, okay, he beat me on long range. I mean, I beat him on long range and he beat me at short range, but that's not even the point of it. The point of it is spending time together, enjoying
Awesome.
that grass in that moment. So
Yeah.
I think all of them kind of go into that.
Yeah, and especially I have an attitude of gratitude, right? That
Right.
regardless of who beats who, there's an attitude of gratitude.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
And Doug, actually, while we're here, I also want to share something.
Yeah.
Um, so I sadly didn't get to share this last week because that was the end of it, but I actually took a whole week of sobriety. So I spent a whole week sober. I just stopped every, thing that I was doing,
Yeah.
pot included,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. And I just focused on my mindset a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, just kind of focusing on, okay, I don't need these external things that I was needing at the moment.
Mm.
Because that week I had the mindset of, okay, focus on keeping my mind, occupied,
Yeah.
something to get off my mind of, the fixation that I have.
Yeah.
And I just spent the whole week at the gym, and I lost, I think it was 15 pounds.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
And I kind of, after that whole week, I was like, okay, that's pretty, that at least I know that within my own mind, I can stop or take a break,
Yes.
like if I understand that sometimes I too do tend to have a little over usage. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna lie. I smoke a little too much, but during those times I tend to cut back for like a whole week, and I,
Yeah.
you know, pace myself. So, and another thing is I've just been kind of, honestly, those 10 truths have been showing up more and more in my life
Mm.
as we go along. Actually, another thing is that the other day I actually was grabbing something to drink at a convenience store,
Yeah.
and I saw this homeless guy in front of me.
Mm.
He was
Yes.
buying he was buying a really cheap 99-cent soda with like the last change of what it looked like he had.
Yeah.
And when before he walked out, I said, "Hey, OG, do you want me to get you something to eat? I'll buy for you." He's like, "No, it's all good, man. I appreciate it." He's like, "Sure, I'm all, it's no skin off my back." He's like,
Right.
"Oh, I appreciate it, man." But I've just been kind of just slowly but surely trying to incorporate those, subconsciously.
Yeah, absolutely. So you are literally rewiring your brain, right? So the way you used to look at things are now differently. And Jeremy, I just want to say I'm really proud of you for making the deliberate choice of of doing the fast, if you will, from those things. And I think at the end of the day, you maybe realize that it's just a choice. You can or cannot, or you do or don't have to use those things, right? But it's a choice. Um, so, and I think that, and seeing the success from that, where you lost the weight, and then you actually proved to yourself that this is possible. And so, yeah, I'm just really proud of you for going through that process, because you are creating a new identity. In fact, again, back to what the purpose of this study is. It's a rewiring brain, creating a new identity, and seeing who you are in the sight of God. So that's fantastic. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for being vulnerable enough to share that. So that's great.
I appreciate the kind words as well, Doug.
Yep. Yep. All right, guys. Well, just again, continue to work on these 10 truths, and yes, they are always true, whether you believe them or not. It's just like our identity. When we realize that we are the dwelling place of God, and that there is nothing wrong with me, right? It's only my stinky thinking that says there's something wrong with me. When we renew our mind to that, it's true whether we believe it or not. But when we do believe it, then it manifests in our lives. All right. So just a reminder that several weeks ago, I kind of talked about my journey and the journey I've been on for, close to 10 years, and the changes that I've made in my life, and the transformation of the renewing of my mind. It started with gratitude. Then it turned into identity. Then I started meditating, using my imagination, and realized that I was a co-creator with God, that since He is in me and we are one, that this life is unfolding before me based on using my imagination and seeing who I truly am, and that I'm here to rule and to reign, because that's what Jesus did. He ruled and reigned while He was here. But it all started with gratitude. And as I've described before, it's a continuous circle. So the more you do this, the more gratitude you have, the more you'll understand your identity, the more you'll want to meditate, the more you'll use your imagination, the more you'll start to co-create, which then brings us more gratitude, and so on and so on. And this is what it means to have the mind of Christ. So what we're here for is to talk about the transformation toolkit. And we're going to be focusing on your imagination and being a co-creator, so that we're kind of giving you the tools for transformation. That all starts with this list here, but it also talks about some of the science behind renewing our mind and using our imagination. And this is going to be a quick summary, a reminder of what we talked about, the reticular activating system. What this is the way God has designed us, is in our brain, in our mind, that, as you can imagine, everything that life comes at us. We're talking about 34 gigabits, 34 billion bytes of information through our 5 physical senses every single day. And if we were to take in all of that, our brain would overload, right? It would overload. So God has designed us with this reticular activating system, where it filters out the unnecessary from the necessary, which come from the 5 physical senses. The ability for us to program that and be in charge of the reticular activating system, it's been given to us. So we get to decide what that filter looks for, what that filter does, and through our 5 physical senses. And what we're looking at through this series is we're looking at how we want to think, act, and feel about money, health, work, friends, spouse, kids, and free time. So you get to decide. So then as that 34 gigabits is coming to you, then the reticular activating system will see and act upon what it sees based on what you tell it to look for. So the fact is, down at the bottom, it says these answers were always there. You just did not notice them before because of the program. And the example I always use is my daughter wanted a Mini Cooper, a blue Mini Cooper with a white top on it. And she loved Mini Coopers. And as soon as we started talking about her getting one, that's all we saw on the road were Mini Coopers, green ones, black ones, blue ones, all of that. And before that, they were there, but we didn't see them because our reticular activating system was not engaged. So I'm sure you guys have had that experience before. All of a sudden, you want to buy a truck and then that's all you see are trucks, right? So that's how the system works. So now what we have to do is be very deliberate about what programs we want that reticular activating system to see. And the way we're going to do that is through smarter goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound, exciting, and risky. And we're going to do that through a visualization. We're going to do a vision board, and we're starting to work on the statements that we want our reticular activating system to look for. And as we do that, we need to make sure we're asking the questions of what it would feel like to have that already. And then you have to keep that in front of you because, our mind trips, right? And it goes on rabbit trails and all of a sudden we're thinking about other things, but we need to keep it focused on what our intention is for these topics. Down at the bottom, follow the breadcrumb trail. The path will light up for you and it will be amazing. Just like that blue Mini Cooper, it will light up for you. But it comes by rest. You don't have to worry, oh, where am I going to find a Mini Cooper? I never see them, and it'll just come, and it comes by rest. All right. So that was a quick summary. So any questions before I move on from this summary? It's pretty amazing how it works, right? That's the way God designed us. There is a worksheet that is on our website, and it talks about what our current mindset is in relation to money. And there's a place for you to fill out what your current mindset is and what your new mindset is. And the question is, are you satisfied with your current experience with money, with health, with works, and so forth? What if true transformation is possible? And do you want to find out how to get there? And I hope the answer for all of us is absolutely. I want to be set free from the bondage of money and health. Down at the bottom, being a co-creator, we get to choose what, but God chooses the how and the when. So what we do is we set the intention, but then we don't have to worry or fear or be anxious about how and when. We just know that it will come, right? And to some degree, it's already here, right? Just like that blue Mini Cooper, it was always there. We just weren't aware of it. So we're raising our awareness. All right. So before we get into the specifics of money, as we've been doing, there's a great video that I found with Steve Harvey. So we'll take a listen. So give me just a second. I'll set this up. Oops. All right, here we go.
Listen, getting successful, whatever you consider successful, if it's rich, whatever, it's not a magic trick. Listen, getting successful, whatever you consider successful, if it's rich, whatever, it's not a magic trick.
You guys hear that okay?
It's not God picks certain people he'll make rich and certain people he don't. He gives all of us as his children
Yeah, we heard.
power of
Okay.
choice. You have a say-so in that. You can decide to be rich. And with God's help, it's highly doable. But you first have to think it. The difference between successful people and non-successful people is here. I'm no better than none of y'all. I'm not a better person than you. I'm not a better Christian than you. God don't love me more than you. None of that. If you want to be successful, you have to change this. This has to change. Listen to me. It's not what makes it hard is your lack of belief that it can happen for you. The fact of it is, though, it's very doable. See, but you got to change, though. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So if you're at a place in your life and you ain't happy with it, you have to change some things. But you have to make a conscientious decision that you're going to change. And it's not dependent on anybody else. It don't matter what your mama think. It don't matter what your coworkers think. It don't matter what your siblings think. It don't matter what your children think. It don't matter. They have nothing to do with it. This decision is yours and yours alone. It's two people born in a hospital every day. It's a person that's born in a hospital that's going to get a job, and somebody born in a hospital that's going to give them a job. You get to decide which one you're going to be. You get to decide. Let me tell you something. You get to decide if I'm going to be rich, poor, mediocre, plentiful, happy, sad. You have a decision to make. Your mind, all right, here we go. This is the teaching moment. Let me give you this so you can get on with your 2019. You walk in the house, you pick up the remote control. Let me teach you how this works. And you press the power button. When I told you 2019 will be the best year of your life, but you have to claim it. You have to expect it to be the best year of your life. You have to live your life with the expectation that great things are coming your way. And that's how it works. Now, let me teach it to you. You grab your remote. You press the power button. What do you expect to happen? You expect the TV to come on. Guess what? It come on. If you want to see Sports Center channel 46, and you press 46 and OK or select, what do you expect to come on your TV? Sports Center. And guess what show up? Sports Center. They got the concept of creating a remote from the Bible. See, God is tied to all of this. You better understand what I'm trying to tell you now. The Bible says, a man is as he thinketh. God created us in his image. God thought of this world. He thought of it, so he created it. So he made you just like him, that your thoughts can create things. He made you just like him. Now, you can't go make earth and heaven like he did, but you can make a better world for yourself. There is a scripture, Habakkuk 2:2. It says, write the vision and make it plain, so that he who reads.
All right. Oh, sorry, my screen is going crazy. All right, sorry about that.
Unmute you or help. Are you on the thing? Who?
All right. So did you guys were able to hear that about making the choice, right?
Yep, we heard it.
Yeah. All right. So as we move into the choice, the mindset shift that that you're looking for. So Jeremy, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about your statement, and I'm just curious if after you set that intention, what has anything come about? Has anything come into your view?
Actually, now that you mention it, yes. So I did some research into like remote working. Because I kind of want to, be able to be close with my family, to help support them and help them.
Mm-hmm.
But also, keep myself stable, and achieve that goal that I have stated, right?
Yeah.
My business is valued at 125K in the next 3 years, so that I can travel globally and share that with a significant other and support my family. Right. So I started doing some research into, remote stuff, things that are very easy, things that have very, very cheap training.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them I found out was Google certificate training. And so I looked at them, and they offer a couple classes and courses that are very cheap. They're like $39 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And for like a 6-month course, and you get hands-on actual experience in these fields, along with help with a setting up a resume, cover letter, and being able to ace an interview, and also where to look to gain those interviews.
Nice.
And so I was looking at them, and there's 3 courses in there that I was looking at. Digital marketing and e-commerce.
Mm-hmm.
One of my businesses, digital photography.
Yep.
So there you go. There's a course that's for my photography business. And then another one is project management, right? So being, training for a manager, operations manager.
Right. Yep.
So I think what you're saying is your imagination is working better than.
Yes, it's pretty much, now that I have that mindset, seed planted, because I stated it, I have now been focusing more into that mindset,
Mm-hmm.
probably 100-fold.
Yeah. Right. No, that's awesome. So, just curious on how you were able to find that Google classes. I mean, how did that come about?
So I was honestly just looking up. I kind of knew about digital marketing and e-commerce, like drop shipping, Amazon FBA and stuff.
Yep.
So I was looking into that kind of stuff, and then I ran into, okay, where can I get some cheap, courses or classes or mentorships? And then one of the first things that popped up was this thing, Grow by Google or something, the Google certificate program.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I did some research, and they said you get a 7-day free trial. And then after that, each month is like $39 a month.
Yep.
And the courses are like 3 to 6 months, and like 3 to 6 months sets you up with a decent career. That the minimum for the lowest annual salary I saw in there for the 3 courses I was looking at was like 56,000.
Yeah.
So add on those 3 courses individually over 3 different areas that I know I can prosper in.
Mm-hmm.
That puts it at around 125,000.
Look at that. Yep. So so you just happen to be, so here's kind of what we have to remember is that having the mind of Christ, there was a thought that came to your mind about, hey, why don't I just do a search and see what I can find? right? Is that
Yeah.
how it came about?
Well, I saw like on ads through YouTube, through my own research binges that I do on YouTube. Like I watch a lot of automotive tech stuff,
Yeah,
but I'll see those ads pop up, thanks to AdSense.
yeah,
And one of them actually was the Google certificate program, but I was like, okay, well, I don't think that really applies for me. I think because they mainly announced it as like IT.
yeah,
And so I was like, that's not really my shtick. So I kind of brushed off, but I was like, okay, hold on. I kind of when I was doing the research on the mentoring,
yep,
that popped up, and I was like, or it was a Coursera is what it's known as. They
yep,
are the subscription service that runs the Google certificate program.
yep.
And so I popped on there and I was like, oh, this is the Google certificate program. So I did more research, and then I found that those three areas are areas that I know I can actually pretty much thrive in because I have business ventures in them.
Gotcha. So back to the reticular activating system. Those ads have always been there. They've always popped up for you because you just indicated that you always go on to these, automotive repair, et cetera, right? And for whatever reason, you decided to click on it this time. Did I get that right?
Yeah, sorry, we got dogs out here, so I may get some barking.
All right. But did I get that statement right?
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah. So again, that has always been there, but the reticular activating system, your imagination, the co-creator that you are, decided this time to click on it. And then it sent you down a path. So Jeremy, what I'd like to suggest here is again, you get to decide the what, but God chooses the how and the when, right? So this may be a direction you go and you decide to go down. It may not, but it will lead you down another path that then will lead to another path, and it's called the breadcrumb trail, right? And the path will light up for you. So don't think of this as the end all and this is going to fix it. It may, but then it may lead you to something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I already had that in mind, as in, because I honestly know that if I have the knowledge or the know-how to execute, then I know that the way my brain is set up, thanks to, me being neurodivergent, having ADHD, I can hyper focus on a specific subject.
Yep.
So if I have the knowledge, then yes, I can execute it then. So if I can learn something, whether or not I actually get into the field through a legitimate employer or, apply the knowledge that I learned to my own way.
Yep.
Whatever comes.
Right. No, that's perfect. That's beautiful. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. And just in the last 2 weeks, right? You set the attention and this has already come about. So that's how it works. So Jeremy, thanks for sharing that. So now I'm excited to hear about the others that are online as far as what their new mindset is. Again, we're shifting from the left side of the screen that you need to work hard for money. Money is only for the rich. And we're changing over to a new mindset and be very specific about what your shift is. So is there somebody online that would like to share their mindset and we can talk it through and come up with a statement, right?
Yeah, I think for me, I think I'm still battling a little bit, to be honest, because the mindset that my new mindset that I'm having now is am I happy regardless of the money thing? Am I happy regardless? Right? And I haven't had any like big signs of like, oh, you're gonna get, $1 million,
Right,
or you're gonna, get.
But Michael, what is, like Jeremy, what is a statement that you would like to have to set the intention for yourself regarding money?
I would like to be okay with exactly what I have with money. I like not to have that selfish eagerness of thinking I'm gonna get it right away right now. I like to be happy with what I have.
So you want a comfortable flow of financial
Right.
stability.
Or no, I just want my mind to be like, oh, I want my mind to be consistent on thinking, hey, you're good where you're at right now. You could have more or you could have less, but I want to be happy if I don't have either one, and that's what I'm struggling with.
But is there a specific money goal?
What
I would like to see my children have more space in the future, like a bigger backyard for them to play in,
So you want a home,
a
for your
home.
family to prosper.
Yeah, I want a home.
You want the stability
Even though I have one.
financially to give them that life that you envision in that home
Correct.
and your wife.
Right.
I want a home that gives my family more space.
To prosper.
To prosper. I think something else is I would like to see my rapping career take off. Musical career
So
take off.
that's job. So that's the next one down.
Yeah. What would you say? The next one down is a job?
Yeah, I think that let me see which one that one is. No, it's after health. So we'll be talking about that in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
This is money.
Right. I don't know.
I think what you have.
I would appreciate if I can make my prices higher than they are in my business.
So you want your business to be more profitable.
Right. My business to be more profitable. See more income coming in that way.
So that's job.
That's still a job. I would like to view money differently. I don't know. I would just like to view it differently. I like to see that it's something that I can use as survival, but I don't know. I just like to see more, I guess, money signs in my head.
Yeah, sorry,
Like
Michael,
people imaginative. So
you broke up a little
Same
bit.
issue.
I'm having the same issue. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
My businesses. I want.
He's having the same block that I did.
So is there a dollar value? Is there a time? When do you want this new home?
So I would like to have been able to save
So a year and a half.
in a year and a half. I'd like to be able to save probably $30,000.
Okay.
Have that as a savings to put towards a house, like I think I said in the last one, to put a down payment on a house.
So in 18 months, you want to have a nest egg of
Right.
30,000.
Also, I want to pay off my car. Is that a good one?
Yep.
I want to pay off my car in the next year and a half.
Paid.
Yep. And then I want to sell that sucker and get a new car. A truck. I want a truck. Okay, yeah, I see what it is.
There you go.
Yeah, I want a truck.
So now guess what? You're using your imagination, right? You're allowing yourself to freely flow. Yep.
Yeah. It's difficult sometimes.
And what do you want to do with that truck?
I want a boat behind that sucker. I want a boat. Oh, and a lot more fishing stuff.
You want a fishing vessel.
I want a fishing house.
A fishing house boat. Oh God. His imagination's going crazy now.
No, that's good. That's good. That's what we want.
I want to be able to buy my wife some more diamonds.
All right. So let's do this.
Overload. Going crazy.
With the savings, my savings of $30,000, and with my car paid off, enjoy my new truck and boat. All right, so how does this sound? And Michael, it needs to resonate. It needs to be, going back to that smarter goal, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound, exciting, and risky. So if this like trips your trigger and is like, oh, that's awesome. So listen to the statement and see if it trips you. And if it doesn't, we can change it. But here's your statement. I will buy a new home in the next 18 months with my savings of $30,000, and with my car paid off, enjoy my new truck and boat.
Yes.
Does that excite you?
That does excite me a lot.
Okay. All right. So see the process we went through, right? There were four bullets ahead of it that in fact, we should enjoy the and boat to fish, to go fishing, right? Because the fishing part, I know that brings a lot of excitement to you. So
Correct.
we want to make sure that's included in your, because that'll bring a lot of excitement. All right. So basically that's the idea. So as we talk next week about health and then job, that's kind of what we want to do, is put down on paper, start thinking about the things and start writing them down, and then come up with a single summary of what would really, set the attention for. All right, so I'm going to read it one more time. I will buy a new home in the next 18 months with my savings of $30,000, and with my car paid off, enjoy my new truck and boat to go fishing. Right? And you can change it or modify it from here, but the idea is to set the intention.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Rachel, how about you?
Well, my goals are pretty much the same as Michael's as far as money. Maybe minus the boat, because I don't really care about that.
All right.
But definitely, like, I would say like a 5-year plan for us is within 5 years being able to buy a home wherever it is, any location that works, that, a home where the kids, like he said, can have more room to grow up, maybe a big backyard, maybe a safer neighborhood where they could ride their bikes down the street and we're not, worried. And yeah, I mean, that's the biggest one. And I mean, saving $30,000, I would say in the next year or two would be like a goal.
Okay. So you and Michael need to be on the same page in regards to 18 months versus 5 years.
Oh,
So
he said 18 months. Oh, okay.
correct. So if you guys set the intention, right, and we're to agree, I mean, the power of you being a couple is that you can both set the same intention, and it's almost like a double speed, if you will, because now you have two people with the same mindset.
Well, I could do
So
5 years too. I mean, I could do 5 years as well. I mean, I'm not like
what makes you excited? What do you think is attainable? What do you think is realistic?
I think.
So,
Go ahead, babe.
well, for me, realistic realistically, I would say closer to 5 years. I mean, I'm sure we could negotiate and go with maybe 3, but I think 18 months is a little too soon for what I think is attainable. I
Right.
mean, but you never know. I mean,
Yeah, so just to be clear, the reason why it has to be smarter, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, is because when you are reading your vision board and you've got your vision board, which we'll talk about, we'll talk about how to put that together. But as you look at it, your mind needs to trip on, oh, that's awesome. I know it's coming, versus, you know what, 18 months, that's really a stretch. I don't see how that's even possible. So if it's 18 months, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, your mind and your heart need to be in agreement so that it trips, that says, man, that is doable. That there's just, I can see that happening. That's not going to be a problem. In fact, it maybe even be sooner, but definitely within this period of time. So that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for, I'm going to use the term name it and claim it, right? We're not talking about this. What we're talking about is something that is realistic and attainable, so that when you do read it, your mind doesn't quickly go to the negative side that says, no, that's not possible, because then you're on the left hand side, right? You're going, well, everything is so expensive, I can't afford what I want. You're going to that current mindset. We need to shift to the new mindset, which is, yeah, this is possible, absolutely, and it's just a matter of time before it comes. Does that make sense? So between the two of you, you'll have to come up with, and maybe next week we can finalize that, but come up with the time frame, right? And I think for you, Rachel, it would be, basically the same statement, but instead of with my card paid off to enjoy my new truck, it will be so the kids can have a safe place outside to play, right? That's your kicker. Michael's is the truck and the boat, and yours is the kids, right?
yeah, right.
Yeah. And the kids will have a safe place to play and go to school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there we have it. So I'm going to go ahead and read it off, and Rachel, tell me how it feels, and if it trips your triggers, like, that would be awesome, right? I mean, it just, your juices start to flow. It's like, yeah, that would be amazing. So here's the statement: I will buy a new home in the next 18 months with my savings of $30,000, and the kids will have a safe place to play and go to school.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Right? So that is your intention. So so just like we experienced with Jeremy, where he set the intention, then and all of a sudden it appeared, right, on that Google thing. Guys, this will also start to present itself. That breadcrumb trail will start to happen. All of a sudden you'll see a way that you can save $30,000, and all of a sudden you and Michael will come to an agreement that says, you know what, it's not 18 months, it's not 5 years, but it's this time frame, and that you're both in an agreement and you're both excited about, right? And then something, a location might come up that says, man, that house would be amazing if we could live there. And so the specifics will start to come, right? The how and the when. You're setting the what. This is your what, right? So I'm excited. That's a pretty amazing goal, and I can't wait to see how that how that transforms and comes into your life.
It always does, doesn't it?
It does. So the beauty about this, again, is going back to that reticular activating system. Whatever your current mindset has been up to this point, and I'm just going to assume, right? I'm just going to jump to the left that I never have enough money. As soon as I get it, I'll either spend it or it's taken away. That's what your reticular activating system will be looking for. Yeah, you're right. Money is hard. It's hard to come by, and that's what will filter out. But then you're shifting over to this new mindset is, hey, we're going to be buying a house, and I'm going to have my car paid off, and I'm going to have my business is going to be 125. You're reprogramming, you're shifting to this new mindset, and then all of a sudden that will start to come. And just like Jeremy discovered, it's always been there. You just haven't noticed it yet because it's been filtered out. All right, so that's it for this morning. Any questions or comments?
Nope.
All right, great. So from here, eventually we're going to go through each and every one of these. Health is next week, job, friends, spouse, kids, free time. And what I'd like you guys to do ahead of time is just like we did today, is write down what you think your goals are for your health, your job, your friends, and we'll cover that here. And we'll basically create statements. And if you already have a statement, that's great. We can share it. But the whole idea is to allow other people that are listening on this program to be able to listen in and see how you guys did it, and then be able to benefit from it. Right. So, I appreciate you, kind of, being exposed here and sharing this with other people, but it will go a long way in helping other people. All right. So that's it for this morning. On our website, the100foldjourney.com, you can find this current mindset and new mindset worksheet. You can also find the 10 truths that you can download and keep for yourself. So feel free to go on there. Obviously, if you have any questions, you can always reach out on Facebook or even through the website. So with that said, anything else for you guys that are online? Okay, so I will send these to you so that you have them as a reminder for the statement, and I'll go ahead and forward that to you, and then we can talk about it a little bit more next week. So with that said, thank you very much. Bye for now.
Bye.